Hello, my crafty friends. Today I am back with another diamond Z-fold card. I used some pattern paper that I've had for a long time. It is called Holiday Bash from Recollections. I've had it for maybe 4 or 5 years. I know I got it at least the year before COVID. So yeah, too long, and it's been hanging around my craft room. I really need to use it up. So I have been working at making a big dent in it. I've said in another video that I tend not to use the same paper pad. I have several that I just rotate through because I get bored after I make a card with it. I might be really happy with the card, but then I pack that paper pad up and put it back in the drawer and take the next one out for the next card. But I am trying to make a big dent in this one. So this snowman paper I thought was just darling, and I was actually going to make 2 of these cards. There are 2 sheets in a package, but I miscut. I don't know what I was thinking, and so we have 1 of these, and then I did use the leftover pieces on another card. So the Diamond Z Fold, as I said, this is a 5 by 7 inch card, fits in a standard A7 envelope for mailing. And this is another card where I just pulled things out of my stash. There was nothing new on this card at all. So the pattern paper is a number of years old. These snowflakes, they're from Impress, and I don't even think they're around anymore. So there's 3 sizes of the snowflake dies, and I like that they're very solid. They cut like a dream, and I've had them for, probably 10 years at least. So I've got those, and then the Let It Snow, they're from Lawn Fawn, and I don't know, I probably got them when they were first released. There is a stamp set that goes with them, but I never did buy the stamp set. So it has Noel, Oh Joy, Be Jolly, Let It Snow, Fa La La, and Be Merry. So I do get a lot of use out of the dies and have over the years. So that's what I used for the Let It Snow here. I die cut it twice from white cardstock, layered them together, and then once from the blue metallic. Now this blue metallic that I used, or this blue mirror, is actually from Hunky Dory, and it's very hard for me to find a link for you, but I also have and use some mirrored cardstock in various colors from Tonic Studios. So I will find a blue one and I will link that for you on my blog, which is in that description box below. I have been making a number of these Diamond Z-fold cards. I'm really happy with how quickly they work up, how dimensional they are, and they're so new for the people that I've been sending cards to for so many years. It's just a refreshing change for them. But I've been finding that I'm having trouble getting my squares to cut straight. It's totally user error. I'm having to retrim far too many of them. So to make this card, these squares, I actually used a nesting square die set. The dies are from Hero Arts, and there's all different sizes. So I was able to get the 2.5 inch and the 3 inch squares, and also then the matting squares. And it was so nice to make the card and not have to trim or have, my layers askew because I was cutting them wonky. So I don't have trouble normally with my trimmers. I've been using the same ones for years. The blades are fine on them. I have a great big guillotine cutter, but I think it's just the measurements, just where everything sits. I don't have enough of a guide. Yeah, having trouble, but I seem to have solved that with those squares. Now, the one thing I did differently on this one is the block, the pop-up block, and you might be able to see it. It's only this big. It's 3 inches tall. And I had cut it out of white, and boy, I really didn't like it when I opened it up to see the white on either side. But I did have a scrap of that snowman paper from that piece that I had cut incorrectly. So I cut a 4 inch strip and just glued it on. So it overhangs a little bit, but I still liked the look a lot better than just the white. And that's probably because the mat on this diamond was also white, so there was no contrast at all. I filled the center of those snowflakes with Pops of Color, which is from scrapbook.com. This one is called, do I have it upside down here? This one is called Snowflake. And this was a free with purchase last year over the holidays, and I use it and use it and use it. I love it. It's kind of a cross between Stickles and Nouveau Drops. It's a little bit runnier than Nouveau Drops and more raised and shiny than Stickles. As I said, I absolutely love it, and I would highly recommend it. That particular one is linked on my blog. Here are the fall away pieces from inside the snowflakes. Man, they were cut out of metallic paper or the mirrored paper. I wasn't getting rid of those. There's a spot where we can sign our name, and I usually include a Christmas letter with my Christmas cards, but if it's going to someone who I see frequently, they don't necessarily need a Christmas letter because they're up to date on our life. There's lots of room to write a message or a personal greeting on the back. I love how these cards stand for display, and I will link on my blog. I can't remember if I said it or not, but I got the tutorial for this one from another crafter. There's a number of them online, and they're also called a whole bunch of different names. But I will link the tutorial that I used on my blog, which is in that description box. I don't feel right just giving you the measurements that she used. I know she probably got them from somewhere else as well, but I didn't figure out the measurements for this one. So I will link her tutorial, and then I will also link in the description box. I did figure out the measurement for doing a slimline diamond Z-fold card, and that video has been very popular, and I'm also making a whole bunch of those cards. So I will link that tutorial in the description box below. So another fun Christmas card that I can send out. Now I do tend to work ahead. So I finished my cards to send out this year, last year, and all of the cards that I'm working on now will go in the bin and be sent out next year. It's something I've done for probably 20 years, working ahead for Christmas. One year I had made so many cards, I was ahead of the game for the following year. And while I'm in the Christmas spirit, I like making Christmas cards. And it's really nice not to be pressured that I have to have a certain number made. I think I send out about 60 Christmas cards a year. So I like to have them done and ready ahead of time. And so next year, the friends that have not received this before will enjoy getting this kind of a card. If you enjoyed my video, please hit that like button. It is such a help for YouTubers. Subscribe to see more. And that's it for me today.